Hello folks! Today is a spicy replay review of a game I played yesterday in which I played Quetzali. And in this game you get to see resource and movement blocking as well as stall tactics and how to use a small advantage to win the game. So I was trying to play some pranks on Semantic players with defenders, but then I matched up against a Yadak player and this game is the result. It is a short but sweet game and we are going to analyze it today. So, also, I've been invited to do a live stream together with the Poly Champions channel. And this will play some more in May when I hopefully have graduated. Now, before we look at this game, like, subscribe and comment now before you forget, you silly face. Now, let's analyze this game. Alright, so let's look at this game here, shall we? Looking at this map, it is a tiny map, and we are playing Drylands. I am playing Quetzali, as mentioned before, and my opponent here is playing Yadak. Now, the interesting thing is, look at this map. First off, these villages, they're kind of skewed towards my opponent here, and these ruins are skewed towards my opponent as well. So that is not great. Very unfavorable to me. At least we do have the merit of going first, so that is kind of nice. But yeah, other than that, I don't think that we have a great chance. Also, we are playing Quetzali. What do you expect? Each and every move is going to matter in this game. So let's see what happens. So first of all, I decide that I move my defender towards this side of the map, and that has to do with some logic. Because I move first, my opponent is spawning also is very close to me. So what I decide to do is I try to block my opponent from doing the roads movement, because if they can get to this village very early on, that's just game over, because that village is the village that is going to lead them to this village as well as this one. So that is very not nice if we cannot manage to get there. So yeah, here they do place a road here, although you can't see it, which is why this movement is blocked. And that is very favorable to us, because we should now technically be able to move towards that village first. And we already kind of do. Now, the other thing that I did is train this warrior, and there was a couple of things that I could have done different. So, for instance, I could not have trained the warrior and let my opponent just walk into my capital. Not a great idea. Or I could have tried to support my defender here with this other warrior, which would mean that I would maybe be able to keep this village, but that was a gamble that I didn't want to take, so I just went for the other village. Even though I wasn't able to see it yet, it's usually a good idea to just go over there and search for something else. So they do see that village here, and they decide to attack, which is okay. That is very fair. We do see that there's a ruin here, and we do step onto this village here. Now, yeah, we still can't stop our opponent from doing the stuff, because this road here is going to allow them to capture, at least slap this guy off of it. Maybe it would have been smarter if they just recovered this guy. That would have been able to siege. I guess that could have worked. Yeah, they decide to just give it a slap. That is fair. It works because they have a road here. And I can't do anything about this. So at least we stalled them for a couple of turns. So that was nice. Yep, they slap us out of there. And I decide to do something stupid. I trained this warrior here, and I was like, Maybe there's no warrior here. Maybe I can just siege and win. Of course not! My opponent is not stupid, you know? I can't just assume that that is the case. I went for it anyways, but I guess, you know, sometimes stuff just doesn't work out the way you want it to. We see this ruin and we see that village, so we must get to that first. But that is very hard because our opponent here is playing Yadak. Yadak has roads. We don't have roads. 1 plus 1 is 2. And I am not going to win the race. But the thing is that our opponent is training warriors even though they aren't upgrading their cities. And that is making us favorable in this situation. So we are going to just waddle over there. We see their capital. We can't siege that in any way, shape or form. So just start upgrading our cities. And now we are in the economy lead, which means that we may be able to pressure our opponent just enough so that we can get a 3 village to 3 village game. So that is interesting. Definitely fun for us that we got to play an actual game with Quetzali. I was expecting to play against Samanti and I wanted to be funny, but this was a really good game actually. Yeah, I wanted to block off their ability to upgrade the city. I couldn't. So funky stuff. They see a rider, they see that lighthouse now. So we know that they have vision on all of us. But at least we get to keep this village over here. And we get to that ruin as well. Here they link up their stuff. And they get to upgrade that. Why do they take 2 explorers though? I guess they wanted to go for that lighthouse. Which is totally fair. I get that. But also kind of whack. In a sense. But looking at this, it's kind of equal. I mean, our economy is just a teensy tiny bit better, and I believe, yeah, we do have just more useful technology. Although I wouldn't call strategy that useful. At least it helps me with defending my cities, you know. Okay, we do see that other lighthouse now. We get hunting, because with that we can possibly upgrade our city. And now we decide to also try and go for that lighthouse. And we get there. There's only 1 left. So that would be very nice if I can get there. They get climbing in order to get both of these ruins, which is going to equalize the game as of currently. We get forestry. Now forestry is kind of not like, it's kind of the nuts at the moment because, well, look at this. There's forest everywhere. And with this we can get our first giant up. And that is very nice. Going to allow us to basically put a whole bunch of pressure on them. But they are going to get 2 ruins and that is going to be very useful for them. They get a population ruin, which is the nuts for them. That is exactly what they needed. So yeah, we're back in business, both of us. Although, looking at this, we are now also putting pressure on this village here, which may get us a 4-2 village game, which we should probably win. Especially now that we have riders, and now I get archery. And that is going to allow us to basically fend off anything that our opponent is going to throw at us. So that's pretty nice. So they get farming. They need that because I've been blocking a lot of their resources. Which is something that I haven't talked much about in my videos. It basically means when you stand on somebody else's things like fruit, they can't harvest that because you are blocking it, which allows for some pretty nifty plays. For instance, if I were to put this defender on this farm here and something else here, that would mean that they can't upgrade this city, which allows them not to get a giant, which is basically game over. What I'm saying is that basically each and every move matters. Where you place your unit has a very significant effect on the outcome of the battle. Yeah, as well as this one. I just tried to block everything. I didn't know that they had farming at this point, so I was just blocking the animals and the fruits so that they couldn't upgrade this city as easily. That was not the correct play. And they get to hit my archer, which is unfortunate. They get to upgrade that. They pick a city wall, which is fair. But I think that because of the way that I moved my units, I do get to keep this city here. And that is basically game over for them. Even though they can do some funky stuff, maybe, with the giant. My giant is already there, and we get the first hit. Basically, giants don't like to get hit by other giants. So, we also have these archers, and combine that, and this city is basically under so much pressure that they can't win anymore. They get the border growth, yeah, that is fair, but look at that, it's just game. And we even put our defender on that tile with the farm, just in case. And we also have this final lighthouse now. And we even deny them getting that other lighthouse, which means that they can't upgrade their capital. Basically giving us the win at this point. I don't think that there's anything left that they can do. And that is it. It was a quick game. It was pretty nice. So we did a couple of things that I normally don't do. I played a very terrible tribe. At the first part of the game, I did some blocking of movement. And that allowed us to basically walk around our opponent, giving us the chance to basically stall them for a couple of turns, which allows us to, do some cool stuff. And from there, I think that even though they managed to capture that village, we have had the chance to upgrade our economy behind their backs, and it took them a couple of turns to get off of 2 stars per turn. And that is really terrible. If you were this player, I would really already have given up, basically, because this is not a fight that you want to win. But they persevered. They were definitely going to fight us. And yeah, they did so quite well. Honestly, I think they put up a very great fight, even though I had the upper hand during most of the fight. There was a couple of things that they did very right that I probably wouldn't have thought of. Yeah, well, looking at the map still, I think that they had the potential to just run us over, but because of the turn 1 play to block them, we just got to stall them, which is interesting. I've never had a game where that happened before, and especially with Katsali, with the defender, that is hilarious, because you can't just break through that easily. Yeah, they made some slick moves, and I think that I did a great job at blocking some of the resources. I usually don't think about that, but in smaller maps, you just you have the time to do things like that. You need to do stuff like that because otherwise you're just not going to win. And I think that that is a great lesson for all of you guys. So, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you learned something from that. If you did, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, because fun. And, well, that is it. Hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.